everyone. I hope you are all doing well. Um, I'm going to be fairly quick on this. If you can hear me, put a one. Ethereum is up 7.65%. That's good news. Okay, so very quickly, couple of points. Number one, I said something in my last live that what? Okay. Sorry about that. Hello, everybody. Jackie Hughes, Jackie Hughes. Hey, Tennessee volunteer. Crime soap opera. Welcome back. Good to see you. Hey, Cinnamon Hot Hot. Zelda, my friend. I hope that you and Larry are on the mend and feeling better. Y'all have really had a very difficult time health wise lately. So I hope you're feeling better. Hi, Ralph Thompson. Welcome. Good to see you. Quinny, my friend. Hey, Patriot Angel. Oh my gosh, is this going to be good? Hi, Jules in chat. Hi, Erna Osball. How are you? Muffin Top, welcome. Absolutely. So I'm talking fast because, hey, Karen Gillette, I didn't mean to overlook you. Sorry about that. I got interrupted with a pizza. Yes, I go live and magically my favorite pizza appears for Friday night. So I am excited. Hey, Sundown Farms, Sandra Chapman, welcome. Angela, welcome. Okay, this is sort of a cleanup video. Okay, number one, I misspoke. Heavy D, the man who brought out his helicopter, I said inadvertently that it was Adventures with Purpose. I was wrong about that. Heavy D's got his own research and recovery group, right? So I was wrong about that. Um, there were private uh, five private helicopter slash plane um, flyovers. Each one spent about an hour. Fuel is an issue because they have to fly so far back. So, I did comment and say that it was Adventures with Purpose. Maybe because I'm not saying this is why I misspoke, but I did remember part of the information that I gathered said that professional scuba divers had offered to come and search the pond, and all that. And I just spoke incorrectly. So I apologize. Heavy D has his own thing, and I was wrong about that. Um, let's see, what else was there? Oh, those of you that know me, I do tend to I kind of use humor, right? And so I was laughing. I was making an interesting observation. To me, it was interesting observation about Avo Radowski. And I was saying it's so highly improbable that this guy gets on a homemade airplane with a propeller that he builds, under cover of darkness, to fly across the mountains to escape from behind the Iron Curtain, and then the Austrians hide him out, and then suddenly someone says, "Hey, I got a nice place in California that you that you can go to." And so he does, knowing no one. And then, knowing no one and not able to speak the English language, he starts his own company where he proceeds to make quite a healthy income. And what does he do with his healthy income? He moves to the middle of nowhere to live in an airplane hangar with a skeleton doll and a 90-inch television. It's a bit on the ludicrous side. Right? It's ridiculous. Remember that? So as I'm making these jokes, I'm saying, he escapes the Nazis across, the mountains and whatnot. Well, there is that push, historically, politically, and we hear Putin even talking about it now, that, like, let's say not Czechoslovakia per se, but like in Ukraine, they're having a lot of trouble with Nazis, being a prevailing political position right now. And so I was making that observation that with the Iron Curtain, old world Russia, that there was that belief system that was playing out, that found expression in Germany. And so, yes, I said the Nazis, but I was being, I guess, kind of facetious, right? I was just making it funny, not funny, haha, but trying to show the unlikely nature of this unfolding story related to the little guy with the international airport. I had another person that left me a message who was downright offended that I called it the Lucin International Airport. In fact, I got schooled that it was, hardly an airplane hangar with one runway. And I just said, actually, that really is its name. It is really called the Lucin International Airport, which is interesting and funny all by itself, right? So there, I'm fascinated by this case, mostly because of the characters that are in this story as people are trying to figure out what happened to this 19-year-old young man. The characters are amazing. And the last time I saw this level of troll activity was what? Chris Watts. The same type of comments, Chris Watts case. And so I think it is when you get this many people that seem to have their own agenda for whatever it was that unfolded out there in the desert, something is afoot. Would you agree? Something unusual is happening. So there are a lot of people speaking up for the colorful PI. There are a lot of people being quite vocal that they don't trust Candace, the mother. You have other people that are promoting the Wadsworth as great people, a great family, while other people turn around and you would think that they're like the crime syndicate of Utah. So it's and what I've said before. Now, we got an arrest warrant today. It wasn't an arrest warrant for the disappearance of Dylan, but it was a felon basically possessing a firearm when really he was not able to do that. Let's see. Jeremiah Falk, being duly sworn, hereby states that this felony complaint is based on information obtained through an investigation where the affiant is a special agent with the FBI currently assigned to Violent Crimes Task Force in the Salt Lake City field office. The information contained in this complaint is based on an investigation I conducted along with special agent of the FBI and investigators from the Box Elder County Sheriff's Office. And I have more to say about them. They are some shady people. On May 30th, Box Elder Dispatch received a call of a missing 19-year-old. He was last seen in Lucin. They contacted a relative by phone, told them he was putting the grain truck into the shelter because it was raining. Box Elder land, the parcel of land, supposedly 600 acres by Box Elder Land and Livestock, and is adjacent to two other parcels that are owned by SH and RI. But why didn't they say Ivor Radowski? Well, maybe that is the RI. Maybe Evo is the last name, but that I think that might be who RI is. I think it might be Ivo Radowski. These parcels are open to each other and collectively used together. The subject in this case, an adult male named James Brenner, has no ownership in the land parcels mentioned above, and he is squatting in a trailer. And this is a guy that Candace Cooley has commented on him living there in the trailer. They've known that he was living there. The missing 19-year-old's property is a 5-mile walk toward the southeast of where Brenner was currently living. Brenner and another Lucin resident, D.H., Dylan Hayes, were considered family friends. No, that must be Don. Were considered family friends of Dylan Rounds. What's Don's last name? Okay, I can't remember. In searching for the missing 19-year-old, Brenner was interviewed by Bexco box elder on June 7, 2022. DH was subsequently interviewed by law enforcement, and then on June 11th, box elder did their search for the missing 19-year-old. They requested assistance of the FBI. Now, my understanding is the FBI contacted them and offered assistance, that box elder did not reach out to FBI. On June 16th, with the assistance of the FBI, box elder executed a search warrant at the trailer where Brenner was living. During that search, ball ammunition, ignition caps, black powder, and speed loads, all related to muzzle loading, were located and photographed in the trailer, but the items were not seized at that time. There was no muzzle loader firearms located in the trailer at the time. June 20th, a friend and neighbor of Brenner, DH, was interviewed by Bexco and FBI. During that interview, DH advised that after Dylan Rounds went missing and sometime after Brenner's initial June 7th interview with Bexco, Brenner brought 3 black powder guns over to DH's residence and asked him to safekeep them. When DH asked why, Brenner stated that he needed to do this for his own safety and that the last time he had trouble with the law, they took everything. He did not want things he had left to be taken again. DH agreed to store the muzzle loaders for him. At the time of the interview, DH turned over 3 muzzle loaders, who booked them into evidence. On the 21st, DH again was interviewed by FBI, and during this interview, DH advised that Brenner had also brought him a .22 caliber rifle around the same time. DH told us that he didn't mention the .22 when interviewed because he had owed money by the rifle's original owner, and that he felt that he should have a claim over the .22 rifle that Brenner asked him to store, in other words, to cover the debt. He explained to us that the rifle had been left in a trailer on the property where Brenner had been living prior to Brenner living there by a person who owed DH money. Brenner, upon moving into the trailer, had taken possession of the .22. DH knew that Brenner was not allowed to have firearms because of his criminal history, and DH turned over to the FBI the .22 rifle and case that Brenner had personally handed to him and had asked him to store. The rifle was loaded with 5 rounds of .22 caliber ammunition. On the rifle, it read, "Made in New Haven, Connecticut." No serial number. Who makes this up? Who could make this up? Why am I freaking out about the gun saying made in New Haven, Connecticut? Can anyone tell me? Does anyone know why I'm saying who can make this up? Anybody know? New Haven was where Sandy Hook school shooting happened. All right. On June 21st, another search warrant was conducted at the trailer where Brenner was currently living. This time, Bexo seized the muzzle loader, 1 box of 45 lead round ball ammunition, 1 box of Spear 570 lead ball, 1 box of Federal 45 lead ball, ignition caps, 4 pounds of Hornady black powder, and speed loads, and booked them into evidence. On May 21st, 2012, James Brenner was sentenced to 33 months in prison for conviction of felon in possession of a firearm. Brenner also had additional felony convictions on his criminal history. Based on the foregoing information, the affiant respectfully requests that an arrest warrant be issued for James Brenner for the violation of 18 U.S.C. Section 922G. And Jeremy Falk signed it. He's with the FBI Violent Crimes Task Force, and it was executed by the Honorable Daphne Oberg, a U.S. magistrate judge. All right. Okay, so there you have that. That is really all that I have. I just kind of, it is interesting, Diane. It's curious. The whole kit and caboodle is fascinating. If you have not listened to the interview with Candace Cooley on Duty Ron's channel, I invite you to go over and watch it. It is very interesting. They did a really great job getting out information, not a lot of grandstanding and drama. So it was definitely eye-opening. I really enjoyed it. So I hope you'll. 5 miles, Muffin Top, 5 miles to the airport, the Lucin International Airport, with the international spy that was able to fly over the Iron Curtain in a homemade airplane with a homemade propeller, who then somebody takes to California and says, "Here, live here." It's just implausible. It's implausible. So we'll see how this unfolds. I think that Ivo Radowski, I think that's an interesting guy in the story, and I think he's going to be a big part of this before it is all over and done. All right, everybody. I wanted to correct some of my either jokes that didn't go over well or misstatement mistakes on my part. And yeah, so remember my previous video, it was highlighting the ludicrous premise of this story. It was highlighting the absurdity of some of these people that are involved in this. And all of this amazing stuff is happening around a 19-year-old kid who's living on 600-acre farm where it's a desert. It's just a story that defies it defies logical thought on so many levels, right? All right. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Please go over and watch Duty Ron's interview with Candace Cooley. I thought it was really, really good. And we'll be back. I'll be back to talk about this again. It is Friday night, Wild Speculation, but I didn't do Wild Speculation, did I? But that doesn't mean that I won't be back. All right. Y'all have a good evening. I got a pizza to eat. Talk to you later.